Good morning. We start the record keeping for IP box purposes with a descriptive part, which involves identifying research and development activities aimed at creating, developing, or improving specific qualified intellectual property rights. That is, computer programs. The Ministry of Finance confirmed that copyright for computer programs cannot be legally defined. Box. Confirmed that under the current legal framework, there is no possibility of such a statutory and exhaustive definition of the concept, copyright for a computer program. And for this reason, every entrepreneur, knowing what their work looks like and how it is carried out, must independently identify such qualified rights, meaning computer programs. It can be understood this way: a research and development project for us will be the work on supporting the administrative operations of a hospital, and as part of this project, computer programs will be developed which are created, for example, in monthly cycles, meaning every month one computer program is created. Now let's move on to the IP box records. We start filling it out with the descriptive part, which is the description of the project being carried out. Here we have the card for the research and development project. We start with the data of our company, so the name, first name and last name of the owner, address, tax identification number, region, phone number, email address. Next, we provide the start date of the R&D activities aimed at creating this qualified right. For us, it will be January 1st, 2021. The next date is the date from which the records are kept. We keep the records up to date. For us, it will be January 1st, 2021. In the field for the purpose and description of the project, we describe what this project is about, what the work is supposed to involve, what we need to create. We can use the comment, paste it in this place, and adjust it to our situation. You can also paste here excerpts from your application for an individual tax interpretation. The project implementation deadline in our example will be from January 1st, 2021 to... And here we write the end date of the project. And if it is for an indefinite period, we write indefinite. Let's move on to the next element, which is the nature of the project. It's like our internal mini-survey that allows us to assess whether the work we are doing actually meets the definition of development work. So, are they creative, innovative, and conducted systematically? And if it matches our situation, we check the individual checkboxes. The result of the project, meaning we define what will be created as a result of this project. A new product, service, improved product, or improved process. Next, we provide the scope of the research and development work. Here we use the comment and adjust it to our situation. Similarly with the description of the project results, in the field for people involved in the project, we provide the first and last name of the owner. Additionally, if we employ staff, we also include the first and last name of the employee who is involved in such work. However, we do not enter the names of other team members who may collaborate with us on the implementation of the project here. This is where the research and development project card ends and the card begins. Extraction of individual software programs. Each computer program is assigned a number, an internal identifier. Then we describe what kind of computer program we created, i.e., what function, what module, what improvement it was. If we assume that a single qualified intellectual property right is created every month, we will describe it here. What was created in each month? The plan and schedule of work. So what do our works look like? Duration execution. In our case, it will be from January 1st to January 31st. The buyer of the qualified right. This is the company to which we issue the invoice, name, address, and tax identification number, NIP. The type of qualified right, we don't change anything here. We also have the legal basis for protection provided. Once again, the person who created the given computer program is the first and last name of the owner. If we have more of these computer programs for one project, for example, if they are created in monthly cycles, we copy that smaller card every month, assign the next number, and describe the project being carried out in the following month. If we have more projects, we need to open a new card for each project with a description of that project. Then you can copy that tab And for each project being carried out, open a new card. Now we move on to the work log. This is the place where we will describe the hours of work and what we did in a given month for each month. So for example, in January we worked 168 hours on the project. That's when our first qualified right was created, for which we dedicated 150 hours of work. This means that 18 hours of work were dedicated to some tasks, the remaining ones not related to the IP box, for example, recruitment, meetings with the HR department, or phone duty. And for that working time, we can no longer settle under the IP box. In the cell, for effects, and the list of work for that month, we provide a list of tasks we completed during that month. It would be best if we also pasted it here. Links to the commits we left in the repository. If there is a lot of information, you can do it here. Just refer to an external document, and in that external document on the drive, outline the detailed history for that month. After finishing this part, we move on to the accounting card related to the January records. Here, the accountant is already transferring our book of revenues and expenses, so we will see the costs incurred and the revenues related to our business activity. For us, there is one place left to mark, which is the choice of what kind of cost we incurred. Was it a direct or indirect cost? For the purposes of the IP box, we have two types of costs. Direct costs are the costs that are also included in the nexus indicator. We have 4 letters here, A, B, C, D. With the fact that for programmers, in a sole proprietorship, we usually only have costs from the letter, and according to the nexus formula, these are costs incurred directly for the research and development activities they conduct, aimed at creating a computer program. Such direct costs can be expenses. For equipment and computer parts, licenses for software, internet fees, training costs, industry literature, or expenses related to a car, for example, if we travel to the client's location to do work there. And now we mark the individual costs with the appropriate category. We also have types of expenses that can never be considered costs. Direct. They will be costs indirectly related to the creation of qualified rights, meaning indirect costs. These will be expenses related to financial fees, such as fees for maintaining a bank account, such as interest, or costs related to real estate, and such expenses are indirect costs. However, if a given expense is not related to the IP box at all, we assign it a status to remove it. In order for the accountant to completely remove this expense from the records for IP box purposes, and at this moment our work is coming to an end. Further elements, meaning the additional completion of the records and the accounting part, will be filled out by the accountant. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time.